What's going on, y'all? How y'all feeling this week?
I'm good.
You good?
I'm good.
I'm cool. I'm straight. I'm chilling.
It's good. It's good. Welcome back, Late Edges. You was, Key been busy this month. It's a busy month for her. So she been in and out playing hopscotch.
Hopscotch.
Starting to hurt our little feelings a little bit because you don't make a time for us no more.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever, Late Edges.
I was going to say whatever. I'm glad you said that.
I know. We in sync like we talked about 2 weeks ago. Anyway, welcome to this week's episode of Wine and Audacity, the podcast. I'm your host, Brandon Sicardo, and I'm joined by two. That's right, two, not one like last week, but two of my favorite people in the world. How y'all feeling this week?
I'm feeling attacked.
You were missed, Late Edges.
You
the
were.
Key Hive missed you.
You were.
We
Shout
missed
out.
you too.
We had a good feeling. Shout out to my cousin Ron, our first returning guest.
Yes, thank you, Ron, for coming back on 2 episodes.
Yeah, she did. She filled in for 2 episodes.
Yes, but glad to have you back, Late Edges. We missed you, sis. She give me death glare. So
I have a t-shirt I started to wear today.
What t-shirt?
It said, if my mouth don't say it, my face will.
And it just did.
Oh,
I
want that shirt.
That told me, move the fuck on, nigga. It said, move on. So I'm gonna look at Shauna. How you feeling, Shauna?
All right.
You all right? you good? About puffing up a cancer stick?
What Key say? I'm cooling. I'm chilling. I'm straight.
There you go.
Yeah. I'm cool. I'm straight. I'm all right. So let's hop into it. We don't have time to waste this week because somebody got somewhere to go and she rushing us out of her house.
And it ain't me.
Right. It ain't me. It ain't me this week.
It's usually not me, but I'm hungry.
Right. She rushing us out because I got to go. I got somewhere I got to be.
I do. I got to drive all the way across town and then to D.C.
Well, I mean, by the time they hear this, it would have been past. Where y'all going?
Creole on 14th.
Oh, let me know how that is.
Okay.
So I have to try to figure out where we're going for a brunch for Pride Weekend this year.
Yeah.
I don't know. We might end up picking the same spot we went to last year, but I need to find a restaurant.
Okay.
So I'll keep you posted.
I'm in there like swimwear.
I know you're not coming, but
Don't count me out just yet.
Don't count her out just yet.
if you come, I will fall out
Just add it to the reservation just in case.
like a white woman. Just
You better wear a helmet and some elbow pads then.
you talking shit. I believe that shit when I see it. Love you, but I believe that shit when I see it.
I don't even know when it is.
Right, Memorial Day weekend.
Oh, I don't know.
That's
And I'm going to
right.
tell you why I don't know. I can't say, well, we can kind of cut this out a little bit, but yeah, I think it is.
I can't miss that.
I think it is.
So we're going Sunday. Brunch is Sunday.
Yeah, brunch is Sunday.
Okay.
Brunch is Sunday.
Only reason I'm saying don't count me out, then I'm like, ooh, because I might be tired because I know I'm going to have to help her. So that's the only thing.
Same.
I mean, you can always just come for brunch and leave afterwards. You don't have to go bar hopping with us because we know you don't like people.
Bar hopping is fun.
Yeah.
Brandon left me by myself one time to go to the bathroom.
I almost had a sister-in-law.
And I was at the bar just a 2-stepping because I forgot what they put on. Had a little drink was 2 for 1. So I had a drink in both hands because they was 2 for 1.
I would have to bleep that out.
And she walked up on me and she was like,
How you doing, miss? My name is Tisha.
no, she was like, you don't know nothing about that.
I understand, boo, because they be
Brandon,
fine.
she trying to take my virginity.
She probably would have licked you from the rooter to the tooth.
She might have, child. She was fine, though. I had to take a second glance. I had to take the second glance.
They be the main ones.
Baby, listen, I done got food before. I almost got
We not gonna talk about that. We not gonna talk about that. We not gonna talk about that. Look, we not gonna talk about that. So this week, this episode 17.
Ooh, y'all.
17 episodes.
Y'all remember when we did episode 1?
I do.
Not even episode 1. It was episode 0.
0. Yeah, the introduction.
Yeah, I remember because we were coming off a Christmas food high.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah. I guess we can tell you that since it's been out for months now that we recorded the first, 4 or 5 episodes of this podcast like a month in advance. Mm-hmm. So we were in there still in tryptophan-induced comas after eating all that turkey and shit for Thanksgiving or Christmas.
We had greens, beans, potatoes, tomatoes,
lambs, rams.
You name it.
Turkey. Sweet potatoes.
Yeah, look, we said we was going to stay on script today, and we are not.
We're
Have
only
we met?
We're only a few minutes in. Now, had this been 15 minutes, and we would be in trouble. But we know you got somewhere to be, man.
I'm hungry.
We gonna get out your. I need to figure what I'm gonna eat after I leave here. Mm-hmm. It might be Chick-fil-A again.
I want paella, but I don't want to spend paella
Oh,
money.
paella.
But think about it. You get about 4 or 5 servings off of it. I had some a couple weeks ago.
But the rice was turning me off because, shouldn't really be
carbs.
eating it.
I think maybe I'll order some tacos and pick them up before I go back in the house from the spot up the street.
I love me a taco.
Anyway, episode 17, we're back and we're going to discuss toxic family members this week.
I got burnt of them.
Lord.
Don't we all have a burnt of them?
Burnt of them.
So, In many of our conversations, the topic of toxic family members came up. I'm sure that we've all dealt with toxic family members who can suck the air out of a room. Those kind of people who drain you of your energy just by being in their presence. And I found an article from mindbodygreen.com entitled 9 Signs of a Toxic Family and How to Deal with It from Therapists. First things first, what does it mean to be toxic? As Doctor of Clinical Psychology, Perpetua Neo previously wrote for mindbodygreen.com, a toxic person is someone who regularly displays actions and behaviors that hurts others or otherwise negatively impacts the lives of people around them. And they're usually the main instigating factor of a toxic relationship. So I figured we talk about the 9 signs of toxic people, and we'll talk and, go through that. And then we'll go through a few steps of how to overcome dealing with toxic family members. So y'all ready?
I'm ready.
All right, let's do it. Step 1 of 9 of how to see who is a toxic person. They are abusive, physically, mentally, emotionally, sexually, or otherwise.
Run that by me again.
This is how you identify?
This is how you identify a toxic person. They're abusive, physically, mentally, emotionally, sexually, or otherwise.
Yeah.
Somebody that always second guesses you, somebody that always belittles you, somebody that always has a comment or a word to say.
I was in a relationship with someone like that.
Child.
I think at one point all of us have dealt with a
of
partner
course.
like that.
Of course. But you consider them family, though, because I think that there's a difference between a toxic family member and a toxic partner. Because once you get fed up with the partner, unless you have a kid, you could literally walk out of their life and distance yourself and not have to deal with them. But family is different because y'all could be at the same event, y'all could be in the same spaces. So I think it's a bit different there. Would y'all not agree?
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Okay. Step number 2. You feel depressed or anxious around them. Sign of a toxic family member. Is there a time when being around a person you can't always place, but your energy shifts when you're around them? Your stomach, you get uneasy or queasy.
Like butterflies.
But uneasy or feeling in your stomach whenever you're around them, but you may not be able to place why, because they've never maybe done anything to you personally, but their energy may not align with you in any sort.
Irritated.
Wow, y'all.
I saw a tweet the other day and it kind of left me shook.
Okay.
And it says something to the effect of, be wary of having butterflies when dating people, because that could be your body's way of telling them that person is not for you, not that you're falling in love with them.
Let me share something with y'all.
Well, damn, I wanted butterflies and now I don't.
I mean, butterflies are good, but if the butterflies never go away and you've been dating this person for a year and your stomach is butterflies, it could actually be an uneasy feeling because their energy or that person doesn't align with you. And you're thinking it's like, oh, butterflies, I'm in love. When your body's like, girl, I'm rejecting them. This ain't
Run,
right.
bitch, run.
So
Run for the hills, bitch.
Actual butterflies or bubble guts pretending it's butterflies?
I think it's bubble guts to pretend, but can you tell? Is it a different feeling?
Yes.
Oh, it feels the same to me.
No,
I haven't
it's a
learned
difference
to
for me.
identify mine yet, because sometimes I get the same feeling when I'm excited that I get when something about to go wrong. It's like a twist in the
Wait, too much?
in the pit of my stomach.
Like a knot?
Yeah, it's scary.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since I felt that. So
And so I don't always know what it is that is about to happen. Sometimes it's good stuff. Sometimes
Right.
like something unexpected happened.
But
Like I get some money. I didn't know I was about to get some shit
But
like
it's
that.
an uneasy feeling.
And then other times it's just it's something crazy. Yeah. So I know that feeling all too well.
Okay.
I had this feeling when I met this guy one time, and my spirit felt interrupted around him. Nice looking guy. He seemed really cool, but I got to know him a little better, and
something about him was just like, nah, something ain't
as I
right.
always say, something about it. Something about it.
You got to learn to listen to your intuition, because they be telling.
That's so weird.
It's
That's so
what?
weird that you mentioned that, because I was leaving Walmart one day, and you know how they be having the cops by the door? This cop was there, right? And he had a mask on, but it was something so familiar about him. And I was like, why do I know him from somewhere? And then when I got in the car, it was like I could imagine him without the mask. Like I knew, like in my mind, like I knew who he was. Mm-hmm. And it's like I don't remember where I know him from, but it was a bad feeling surrounding it. It was like, you know how you just be like, my memories of him are not really there, but I know it wasn't pleasant. You know what I mean?
Like,
and I'm like
you've ever met a person and something about them just
rubs you the wrong way.
Yeah. And you can't really put it into words.
Yeah.
You can't really explain it, but it's just something about them. And you know what somebody told me one time? The reason is that their demons interrupt your spirit.
Okay.
That's what it is. It's something about their demons that they trying to jump off, and your spirit is trying to protect you, and that's what this is trying to tell you. Go the other way. Go the other way. Don't do it. Yeah, and that made sense to me when somebody said that, because I was having that similar conversation with somebody, and they said that's what it is. They said their demons are trying to interrupt your spirit. Yeah.
I dated somebody one time. That I had the butterflies the entire time we dated, and of course the relationship didn't last, or the situation didn't last long. But in hindsight, I looked at it, like I said earlier, my body was telling me like this ain't. I couldn't place why I was always on guard, or why I never felt comfortable, and why I never, was able to relax or just like breathe in front of them. And it was like maybe that I wasn't supposed to be able to, because for whatever reason that connection, I was trying to force it, and it wasn't a connection that was supposed to actually happen.
See, now I'm gonna be real wary of butterflies.
I mean, okay, again, butterflies aren't all bad, but I think the more you learn about a person, you learn, especially because I feel that people tell on themselves. They can have a face that they show you. They want to put their best foot or their best face forward. But after a while, the face that mask starts to slip, and you start to see who they are with how they interact with people, how they show up for you, how they show up for themselves, the things that they do, the way they treat people. And you'll see their personality shine through, especially if you've been dealing with somebody 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 months. Of course, some people are crazy, and you never see it until they snap, and then they holding you at knife point, and you're like, where the fuck this come from?
Not knife point, geez.
I mean, it's just, my brain just went there, sorry. It was extreme, but I mean, we've seen snapped in Lifetime movies. That's how it should be happening. But yeah, so what were you about to tell us?
I don't remember.
You forgot that fast?
I did. What were we talking about?
I don't remember, Shauna.
You know my ADD be kicking in. No, that's what I was trying to say. I think I was gonna go into that story.
Oh, okay.
About meeting this person and trying to get to know them. But all right, so I was dating this guy, and I really liked him. He showed me some things that I had never experienced dating wise. The first few months, and I just started getting real suspicious. Like his words weren't lining up with his actions.
Yeah.
And I sat down and I had a conversation with one of my spiritual mothers, as I like to call her, Miss Angie. Shout out to Miss Angie, love you. I don't know if she's listening, but love you, Miss Angie. But she said to me, you need to sit down in a quiet space and have a conversation with God and ask God for the spirit of discernment. And she said, but I want you not to do that until you're ready for things to be revealed to you. She said, because you need to be ready for those things to be revealed to you so you'll know how to handle them. If you're not ready to act on those what's revealed to you,
right,
you shouldn't do it. So I waited a little while. And one day I did it, because 1 + 1 was equaling 4 at this moment.
Okay.
And I'm glad that I did it. The very next day, shit hit the fan. I mean, all kinds of lies and inconsistencies and all of that stuff was exposed.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that it was exposed when it was, because the relationship didn't last beyond a few months, thankfully. But I sometimes think about, if I didn't do it when I did do it, how much worse it could have gotten. And I'm actually currently experiencing it with someone that I met. And while I respected his honesty, I can admit that it's giving me pause. And I think that I probably should follow my instincts on this one. So I don't think I'm going to pursue it beyond maybe a friendship. But,
the one you were telling me about? Okay.
But I don't think I'm, because it just really gave me pause. But like I said, I respected the honesty. But I don't think because I can't guarantee you how I'm going to react if things play out the way that I'm picturing them in my mind. And I had to sit and ask myself if I was overreacting. And that's actually something I need to bring up in my next appointment with Mrs. Howard. But
hey, Mrs. Howard, if you're listening.
I don't think I'm overreacting in this case. I feel like God is trying to tell me something. So I'm
now?
going to listen. Right now. Yeah, so yeah, I get that.
Okay.
I get that.
Okay, next one. They are always criticizing or blaming you for something.
Been there too.
I do have family members where if I were to try to explain how I feel about something, they would definitely turn it on me and make it, well, you're this and you're this and you're this and you're this. I definitely have that. It's more family members than not.
Really? I'm trying to think, do I have anybody around me that's always criticizing or blaming me for stuff? No, because if I did, I wouldn't deal with them.
I went through that in a past relationship.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Whenever I would call them on that stuff, it was, I did this because you. I did this because you did this. I did this because you did
Not
this.
taking accountability.
Actually, it happened in more than one guy I wasn't even in a full-on relationship with.
Yeah.
It was a situationship where he wanted girlfriend privileges or boyfriend privileges, but not the title.
That calls back to what I was saying about.
And I fell for that shit for a while. I did, because I just really thought that this particular person would not do me like that because of our history. But yeah, I see that shit now. Outside looking in, I see it now.
Yeah, hindsight is 20/20.
Then I just couldn't allow myself to believe that he would do me like that. But I learned a lesson from it. It was cool.
What were you saying, Kim?
Again, it goes back to what I was saying about my impression of love was different.
Yeah.
Because a lot of men seem to think that they should have wife and girlfriend privileges for nothing.
They want the privileges, but without giving you the privileges of boyfriend privileges. Or
They want the most doing the least.
Yeah, they want what they don't give. What they can't or aren't capable
I've been gagged.
of giving. So yeah, I highly doubt that 37-year-old Shauna will put up with the shit that 25-year-old Shauna
I would hope not, because baby,
I look back now like, the fuck was you thinking?
You were young and you didn't know any better, and I feel like you're looking at it through a more mature lens, and you're able to reflect.
I see so much shit I let slide. Oh man, I see so much stuff I let slide back then.
But I think that also speaks to, like we were talking about 2 episodes ago, with purpose, and how like you're seeing what does or what doesn't align with you, and you know that you entertaining this person or these actions from this person, you've established a boundary with them because it doesn't align with where you see yourself going or what you want for yourself. So next sign, they are manipulative.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm surrounded by fucking toxicity.
not enough cancer stick, Jesus.
I'm about to slap her.
Right.
I'm sorry.
That's the third one.
Since we've been sitting here.
It is?
Yes.
Yeah.
My bad. Sorry, y'all. I gotta give you some gum.
Anyway. Have you dealt with a manipulative family member?
Several.
Okay.
Several. And these are close family members. And the worst part of dealing with a manipulative family member is calling them on their manipulation. And then they try to further manipulate you. Like,
gaslight you into saying.
I can laugh about it now, but when it was happening, it wasn't fucking funny.
Of course not.
Yeah, but yeah, I can laugh about it now. But yeah, and it took for me to go to therapy to realize that's what was going on.
Yeah.
That's what was going on. And they use all different kinds of tactics to manipulate you. Never realized that shit.
Oh, yeah.
Because and one of the main tactics is doing things for you, volunteering to do things for you.
To hold it over your head later.
Yeah. In order for you to get you to do things for them. And then it is, well, remember I did this for you? Remember I did that for
Bitch,
you?
I ain't asked you
That's
that.
why I struggle with asking people for help. Because I dealt with that within my own family.
Okay.
People who were doing things just to be able to tell somebody, oh yeah, I did this for Shauna, I did that for Shauna. So it's several people I will be stranded on the side of the road. I will hitchhike. I will walk my fat
You
ass
can
to a
call one
gas
of
station.
us.
Of course I would call one of y'all because I know y'all gonna come. Absolutely. But
That fair?
say you out of town. Say she not available.
Well, okay,
I
well.
promise I'll find another goddamn way. Some people,
Well,
if they
yeah.
were my last person to call, I would not do it because I will hear about it sooner or later.
Well, yeah, you can't depend on everybody, and it's unfortunate.
Absolutely
Even
not.
family members, people
And I don't
learn
allow a
those
lot of people to depend on me no more.
Yeah, you got to protect
Promise
your
I
peace
won't. Promise I don't. I used to do stuff for everybody.
under all circumstances. You ready for number 5? Punishment is unwarrantedly harsh.
How so?
It's a sign that punishment is unwarrantedly harsh. So if we're speaking in terms of toxic family members, their response to things or their response to you may be, let's say y'all have a disagreement about something, for example.
Oh, I think I know where you're going with this.
And let's say you do something to offend them and you apologize. But instead of them saying, okay, fine, you apologize, you didn't mean anything by it, they take it to 1 million instead of they put 20 on 10 basically.
I had to happen.
Really?
But it actually didn't directly involve me. It involved a couple of my other family members. And I sat back and watched this shit play out and I just was like, wow. Like it was never that serious.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was so unnecessary the way that they reacted to a simple situation that could have been solved with a conversation. It was so crazy. And I don't even think, to this day, I don't think their relationship has recovered from it because of the way that the person reacted. Like it was such a big, it was bad. It was an overreaction. It was not necessary.
Yeah. What about you, Key?
I'm fortunate to not have experienced that. I've had encounters with some of the other things, but as far as that, no.
But so what? This particular one about having somebody's response to you being unnecessarily harsh or like overly dramatic? Okay.
I can't recall anything like that.
Okay.
Because I mean, I feel like the most toxic person that I've encountered, I just cut him off.
Same.
I cut him off. I have no relationship with him to this day, and I don't care to have one.
I know what she's talking about. And that stemmed from something that had absolutely nothing to do with her.
Sometimes.
He's one.
Yeah.
There's two.
Yeah, because with the one that I know of, because he didn't get the reaction that he felt he should have got, he tried to turn it around and make it seem like she did something wrong, but she wasn't wrong. And I'm not saying it because she's my best friend. I'm saying it as a person who watched the entire situation. She wasn't wrong.
Until this day, he'll still make it out to be a fear thing now. Like he wants to talk to me, but he fears I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. As if I'm this overly violent or aggressive person.
Right.
If you were violent, you'd be in jail.
If he was violent, she would have reacted in that way when it first happened. That's what I believe. So, yeah.
Next, okay, so for me, I don't see or have any family members that have been like, if I've offended somebody, that their punishment or response was unnecessarily harsh towards me.
Okay.
But number 6, the household or family member can be unpredictable. And speaking in terms of toxic family members, if you don't know, you can't gauge how they would respond or react to something, like in terms of a slight or in terms of any innocuous thing that, again, putting 20 on 10, where a normal person would have a normal emotional reaction, but they're overly dramatic. They're manipulative. You don't know how that would affect them or their household, how the people in their household would suffer to any sort of setback.
Okay.
Yeah. I guess that would require paying close attention to that. Because, again, some people would miss that part because, again, you ain't in the house, you wouldn't pay attention to it. But
do you think that correlates with, okay, for example, in one of my classes, we are just gauged the topic of bullying, mostly amongst children, and then they also addressed it within the workplace.
Okay.
And one of the points that was made was that a lot of the times bullies become bullies because they were bullied.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of times they were bullied by family members.
Yeah.
So they can't take it out on that family member, so they in turn take it out on other people.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed that with a lot of people, especially people we grew up with, it turned out that they had really fucked up home lives.
Mm-hmm.
So they would come to school and be assholes and treat people crazy. And then my brother came home and told me a story about somebody that he worked with. And she was going through some shit in real life. She would come to work and take it out on everybody at work.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Just like
she just was, I guess she did to them at work what she couldn't do to that person.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. They found out she was going through some real life shit outside of work, and it made a whole lot of sense why she acted the way that she did. Because I guess maybe because of her position, she felt like she had that power at work, but she don't have that power at home.
Ooh, she can respond at work with the way that she wouldn't be able to respond at home.
Mm-hmm. Maybe out of fear.
Oof.
Or
retaliation or something. She could get away with it at work, where she might have been
because of her position,
totally silenced at home.
Yep.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Step 7: they're dismissive of your needs. Child, the room is silent.
Yeah, because I think we've all encountered that a time or two. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
It's always about them.
You find it. You are. Ain't nothing happened to you. I mean,
ain't nothing wrong with you.
Right.
Ain't nothing, you overreacting. It's not that serious.
Because the same thing happened to me in XYZ.
And
I didn't respond like that. I didn't respond like that. Why are you acting like that? Why?
It's not that serious. Get
why
over
you
it.
putting 20 on 10? Goes back to being manipulative.
Absolutely. That's why I learned not to talk to certain people about shit.
Yeah, you can't.
I feel comfortable talking to, who I talk to. I stopped talking to a lot of people about stuff. People ask me questions all the time. My answer is, I'm fine. Everything's fine.
I'm loving it.
Everything's just peachy.
Number 8, there's a sense of competition between you and this family member. Or a person that tries to every time you say something, they try to one up you. Yeah, I closed on my first house today. I'm excited. Oh, well, when we closed on our house last year, it actually had, how many bedrooms do you have? You have 3 and 1 bath? Well, we have 4 and 3. We have a pool and we have a 2-car garage.
Story time. As most people know, all of us are homeowners.
Are we?
Yes, we are all homeowners. We did. We actually bought our houses back to back, didn't we?
Yeah.
So, I have a cousin. I'm probably gonna get some flack for this, but she is actually one of my favorites. We are very close. We call each other sister cousins. We actually closed on our houses the same week.
Oh, okay.
The same week, she kept it a secret until she closed. She didn't even tell me. And that same week, she called encouraging me, telling me everything was going to be okay. Not knowing it, she was closing the next day.
Right.
And I closed, she closed on like a Tuesday. I closed on a Friday.
Right.
Right? So, and we also had another cousin who closed that same year as well, too.
Okay.
So we all are excited. We supporting each other, congratulating each other and stuff. And it was brought up to us that we had another family member, if we needed any work done, that they would be willing to do the work. Well, it wasn't brought up to me at first. It was brought up to my sister cousin first. And she just was like, well, no, I'll have somebody else do it because that person is not reliable, which was true because the other cousin who had closed previous to us, he was supposed to do some work at her house. He never finished it. So then we have a messy ass family member who went back and told him, yeah, the girl said you're not reliable. So then his daughter gets involved and she gets on Facebook and slanders the shit out of us, not knowing the whole story, not knowing what was actually said. And it led to a little, our petty was released. And my sister cousin, she stays to herself. She don't bother nobody. She don't mess with her. She don't mess with you.
Right.
Baby, she read this girl for filth. Read her for filth. Now, mind you, they were never, they are first cousins. They were never close. They were never particularly close. So, she read her for filth, and it led to this, big little dust up or whatever. But she slandered the hell out of us. She said, people people go buy houses and think they better than everybody else and just in it projecting
her own
and I would
insecurities.
never buy a house in this raggedy ass city. First of all, since I live in the county, okay, put some respect on my name. Okay, I live in a homeowner's neighborhood. Okay, there's no shooting outside my door. You, on the other hand, lived in an abandoned neighborhood where half the houses are boarded up. So don't project on us. Why wouldn't you try to learn from us? Why wouldn't you?
Shots fired.
Right. Why wouldn't you in turn reach out to us and say, what did y'all do? How did y'all start your process? Because that's what I did. That's what I did. When Key started her process, how you start your process? What did you do? When Brandon started his process, what information you got you can share with me? Me and Key ended up having the same freaking realtor because she shared that information with me. And I, in turn, shared it with somebody else. Because I just always thought that, again, going back to what we spoke about in a previous episode about how we viewed people and how life kind of came around, smacked us in the face and was like, no, people are assholes.
Sometimes unnecessarily so.
Unnecessarily so. Exactly. So, yeah, that's what we... that just made me think of that situation, the whole one-up thing. Oh, I did this. Or, oh, you think you better because you doing this. And you could do the same things that I did. Just get out your feelings and, ask somebody something. And I would have shared the information. I would have willingly done it.
They don't do that, though.
They don't. And again, it's a lesson learned.
Yeah.
And it is what it is.
Can't help everybody.
You weren't going to ruin my happiness.
Nope. Because you where you are and they still where they at.
I have another family member who fits into that too. I was so excited about buying this daggone house, and then he just came out of nowhere with he went from congratulating me to bringing up a whole bunch of negativity. I had to cut him off for a very long. I just started speaking to him again.
And you've been in your house how many years? 3?
Going on 3. Going on 3 to be 3 the end of the year.
Well.
Yeah. And this is a person who I supported through so much. And for you to try to bring all this negativity into such a happy time in my life is hard. I worked so freaking hard.
And why? For what?
By myself.
What was the reason?
Jealousy.
Yeah. I believe it's jealousy because this person is older than me. And their own words was, I've always been the strong one. I've always been the one that never gave up. So I think it could be a envy thing. It could be envy. And that's cool, but you ain't gonna rain on my freaking parade.
Ready for the final step out of the 9?
Absolutely.
They are controlling. Have y'all dealt with family members who are controlling, who try to control maybe not you, but a narrative? They try to paint a picture of you to people or of situations to people when they may have been at fault, but they'll spin it by being manipulative and say, oh, no, that's not what happened. Actually, what happened was XYZ, but y'all didn't know this part, but this is the reason why XYZ happened, or this is why I did this to this person because they did this to me. Oh, child, you can't believe what they say because, they be lying about stuff.
That person I just spoke of did that when confronted about the situation. It was, but she didn't tell you what she did to me. She didn't tell you what she said to me. But what they didn't say was everything that I said to them or did to them was a reaction to what they did to me.
Right.
They didn't tell that part of the story because it would make them look bad.
Right.
Yeah. But the only reason I defended myself was because who they told it to. I respected those people. Opinions meant a lot to me. And I didn't want them looking at me in a negative light. So, yeah. Yeah, but I'm at a point now where what you think of me ain't none of my fucking business.
That part.
I don't care no more. Have whatever narrative you want to have of me. I had somebody ask me the other day, my surrogate little sister asked me the other day, have you ever heard a rumor about yourself and you was wondering, well, damn, where the fuck was I at when that happened?
Right.
I was like, yeah.
I don't remember what episode it was when we asked the question, like, what was like the worst rumor you heard about yourself? And I said, I don't know and I don't care.
Yeah.
Because what you think of me, what your opinion of me is irrelevant to me.
Yeah.
I don't live because I've heard something that
regardless
really
of what you do, people they gonna talk shit. They talked about Jesus Christ.
If you live for the praise, you'll die by the criticism. I don't have the space. I can't allow people's opinions of me to sway how I feel good or bad. Again, support is always love. If you support me, if you're here for me, I appreciate you. But if you don't, okay, what am I supposed to do with that? I can't stop and try to figure out how to please you, but still be on my path to do what I need to do for myself. You know? Say it the way Lil' Kim said it on The Breakfast Club. If you got love for me, I got love for you. But if you don't fuck with me, it's fuck you. What else can I do? I mean, you can't live your life on trying to please people, because baby, you'll spend your life doing that and you won't get anything else done.
That last one is a parent.
What do you mean?
For me, it's a parent.
Being a parent?
No, that last step that you read, that person is a parent.
To you?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
My biological father.
Oh, I was like, Lord, what your mama do?
No,
Lord.
You know damn well.
My biological
You
father.
know damn well.
He has painted this
You can't tell her nothing about this with him.
Yeah.
I know.
He has painted this narrative to anyone who listen. I'm pretty sure
That he's the victim.
I was getting ready to say something really, really fucked up, but I'm going to rephrase it. I'm pretty sure that woman he's laid up with and her children probably have the most negative view of me and have never seen or spoke to me a day in their lives.
Now that pisses me off, because you got this, you saying that made me think of something, and I can't remember if we didn't bring this up on the show with Aaron, but we spoke of this particular friend. God rest her soul. But she said to me in a conversation one day, if I was the type of person who judged people based off what other people said, I wouldn't have never liked you, Shauna. She said, but I'm glad that I took the time to get to know you for myself. And I respected the shit out of her for that. She said, because the stories that you are nothing like what was said to me. You're nothing like that. And of course, I know the person who told her the story, of course, but yeah, I'm glad that she did, because she turned out to be one of the best people I knew. She was a dope ass person. Yeah. And I'm glad that I got that. We weren't friends very long, but I'm glad I got the chance to know her. I'm so glad.
Yeah. Again, thankfully, I don't really have people around me, or I don't entertain people who are controlling or try to control narratives, because I feel like, again, and I think your personality or your reputation precedes you in a lot of ways. So if you are a person where sometimes you be a mess, you be in and out of stuff, it may be a bit murky, but if you're a person who doesn't bother people, you stay out of your way, stay to yourself, you get your stuff done. And if somebody comes to them with foolishness or something that's like seems so far out your character, to be like,
excuse me,
they did what?
Right.
Are you sure? Did you see the episode of Abbott with Taraji P. Henson?
Loved it.
You remember the end of the scene?
She's nothing like her mother.
Right. But remember the scene at the end where she was retelling how she said Barbara Howard walked up on her. She said, "You broke and get beat." And she said that Barbara Howard squared up. And Janine was like, "Barbara Howard squared up?
With you?
With you?"
Bullshit.
She was like, okay. Your reputation precedes you. And I'd like to say that as time goes on, hopefully you're able to see, and you by simply being yourself, you can show to other people that the person being controlling will eventually out themselves as being just a liar. And some people, in some instances, they may not ever see it because they've drunk the Kool-Aid for so long. The person they believe is the truth. But hopefully in some instances it's, they're able to see. I feel like I'm just talking in circles at this point, but hopefully, people can see beyond the controlling nature, because toxic shit ain't fun. All right. So how do you overcome dealing with toxic people, toxic family members?
I cut them off.
Cut their asses off.
I mean, no questions about it.
That's it.
The ones that I can't cut off, I just learn from the situation, and I don't do certain things or say certain things. Excuse me. I just try to minimize the situation. You know what I mean? Or the interactions that will bring about those toxic things that I know that will come out. Like I know what will trigger it, and I avoid those triggers. Okay. But other ones, I just simply cut off. I'm sorry, I'm not missing anything.
And I think that's one of the good things about being an adult, is to where you can control who you do and don't have a relationship with, especially when it comes to family. Because when you were a kid, they say, well, that's family, you got to deal with them because that's who it is. But biggest
manipulative line in the world.
Ain't it?
That's family. And
That's still your mother. That's still your father. That's still your brother.
That's still your cousin.
That's still your sister. I remember beefing with my brother, and my grandparents got involved, which that's the last thing I wanted because, you know, that's my grandparents.
Right.
Their opinion of me matters. And, you know, me explaining to them, my brother put them in it. I would never have done
Right.
that. And me explaining to my grandparents, like, you know, what he did to me when he hurt me, and my grandmother was saying, I got all these siblings, and you know, we didn't had our problems, but I've never stopped speaking to them. I never stopped speaking to them, and I had to like I was offended a little bit, but I had to remember they from a whole nother generation. Yeah. My grandparents were born in the 30s and 40s. Yeah. Like they from a whole nother generation where family is family. What goes on this house stays in this house. That kind of stuff.
We talked about that in the previous episode.
Yeah, they dealt with certain type of things because that's your family.
Yeah.
I don't give a damn who it is. I'm not doing it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I have cut so many. I got cousins I walk past in the street like I don't know them. I don't care. I'm not going to deal with you if you interrupt my peace. Yeah. I'm not doing it.
My peace.
I used to try to get my family together and stuff all the time. I don't care no more. I will not. Whoever show up, and I'm fine with that.
That's what it is.
That's it.
Okay.
That's it.
That's what it is. So, ways to overcome a toxic family. You got 4 short steps here. One, which Key did so eloquently in so many words, you set boundaries. And a boundary could be keeping your distance. It could be cutting them off outright, not having any type of relationship with them. It could be literally walking away from them when they start up with their foolishness. Mm-hmm. Step 2 is empower yourself. And empower yourself means essentially sticking firm to your boundaries, sticking firm to doing what you say that you're going to do, and make sure that you have the language and you know what to do when you're placed in these situations, or when you can forecast something is going to happen, you know, with this person. Step 3 is seek outside help. If you don't feel like anybody's helping you and you know, you're talking to family, they don't hear you, maybe therapy would help. Maybe seeking outside counsel from a friend or like a teacher or somebody a mentor, somebody that you can get an unbiased opinion from on the situation could help you empower yourself and ultimately set boundaries if therapy isn't an option for you. And 4, Key mentioned this as well. Find a degree of acceptance. People aren't going to change. People are going to do what they want to do, regardless of how you feel about it. And if you can't change them with a situation, you got to wash your hands up and be like, look, I tried my part. You're not going to change. It is what it is. I don't have to deal with you. I can keep you at arm's length, but hey, I ain't got to deal with it.
I agree.
I'm not going to pull my hair out trying to deal with this, and it's not going to change.
Mm-hmm. Fuck them. There it is. Fuck them.
Yeah. Is that it?
Mm-hmm.
I think this is our shortest topic we have ever done.
It is because it's straight to the point. Like it's not much. It's straight to the point. That's it.
Yeah,
that's it.
I think also part of it is the fact that we're not going into I think part of it is a time crunch, but also I think it's because we're not going into specific examples of like situations where family members because I feel like with that it can be a bit dangerous to just start airing dirty laundry, so to speak. And if you don't care, you don't care.
I was about to say, I don't care.
You don't care. But again, without going into specific details or instances where this person may have wronged you, and then
I also think it's a topic that we can revisit.
Yeah.
Also at a later date. I have
But how would you want to spin it? Because I don't want to just have the same conversation over.
Not the same conversation. I think it actually could play into maybe another conversation.
About?
I don't know. I got to think on it because I have a guest in mind for that particular show.
You want Aaron to come back? Doing ASMR?
Oh God,
absolutely not. I love you, bro, but no.
Not the
no, but I would want to. I would want, if those of y'all who listen to the mental health episode, at the end of the episode was my favorite aunt, my Aunt Ruth.
Oh yeah,
and me and her talk about, the toxicity of people and stuff all of the time. And I really think that she really can add a perspective from an older generation.
Oh yeah, that would be good.
To this because she lived in the era of do as I say, not as I do. Oh, she lived in the era of what goes on in this house stays in this house. She grew up in an era where conversations that we might now have with our children weren't had with them as children.
She touched on that.
Yeah, she lived in that era where mental health wasn't taken seriously selfishly and stuff like that. That kind of stuff was fucking toxic too.
So the topic would basically be the effects of toxic family members.
So this is an unofficial 2-part episode, but we're not going to label it that because it's going to be a second part coming at a date we don't know yet.
We don't know yet. It'll pop up out of nowhere.
And maybe we'll do it maybe some point over the summer.
Yeah. Brandon usually comes up with title names, but one just popped in my head. What in the toxicity?
Yeah.
You know, we stay over here making up damn words and shit.
I actually didn't come up with it.
Maybe you take a spin, put a spin on it and something. And
I was just going to label it as toxic. Or toxic. Yeah.
Oh, I think I got a
Cue
song
the
for the
Britney
video
Spears
too.
music.
Yeah,
That's what I was about to say. I got a song in my head.
Yeah, toxic.
No, because don't Rihanna got a toxic song too?
I don't think so.
Somebody else got a song that got the word toxic in it.
I just heard Britney.
But that's the first thing that did pop in my head was Britney Spears.
Yeah.
But it's another artist who has a
That
toxic
came to mind
song.
because that was Eshawn's song. She performed it
sure
every time
was.
it came on. Like,
Hey, Shauna. Hey, Shauna.
Yeah,
that and what is it? That Big Butt song. I like Big Butt song. I mean,
yeah,
oh my
that was her
gosh.
shit.
Baby Got Bad.
She
Yes.
put on a concert in the car. I was in the back seat, and her
I would love
boyfriend at the time was in the front seat, and she was losing it. He was looking at her like he never blinked one time. He was looking like, "Are you okay?"
Are you all right?
And she was in it.
I would love to get her on the episode eventually.
You think she
too.
would do it?
She might.
I would love
Depending on the topic.
Yeah.
Maybe it would be good, but we talk about, did we have a topic about like parenthood?
No,
we haven't had it.
Maybe we can have her on since y'all 3 are mothers.
That would work.
Yeah, she's definitely got a different perspective, but she's
Yeah,
a mother
'cause-
of 3 girls.
Yeah, y'all
All
have
girls.
one each. Yeah.
And we got boys.
Boy, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll plan. We got the rest of the year. It is
We
only
do,
April.
guys.
It's only April.
But yeah, I think
April. It became April real fast.
Didn't
I think the topic of actually getting into the effects of having toxic family or toxic family members is something deeper to explore.
Absolutely.
Because it did shape us all in some way.
Oh, of course.
Even if we don't deal with those people now, or we worked hard or are working to overcome those things, some things are hard to kind of get away from. You know, they take a little longer.
Right.
So I think that's something to delve into.
Okay.
Because it can shape you, even if it's just giving you anger issues, or, you know, you find yourself doing the same things that they do, and then you catch yourself and you're like, I can't believe I just did that. You know what I mean? Like, so I think,
And
I
your
think
view
it's
on
worth,
relationships come from it too.
yeah, I think it's worth going a little deeper.
Okay.
I got some stories to tell, and I ain't afraid.
Okay. Well,
I ain't afraid.
let's table it. We will.
Same.
I'm gonna take a little note real quick. Hold on. Hold on. I gotta take a little note.
Yeah. And little disclaimer, I'm sorry for anybody who may be offended when that topic comes about. But one thing about me is I'm not biting my tongue about how I feel about
you should.
anything.
Never
My
have.
feelings are my feelings, and my feelings are what they are for a reason. Any questions about that, please send me an email between my business hours, which is 8 to 4. But yeah,
And they probably won't. So.
I'm sure they won't. But
No, they'll talk to everybody else.
And
about it.
Yeah.
right, and you'll hear about it.
That's
on
what's
the
gonna
back
happen
end.
with me.
yeah, but I'm not gonna say. Well, I might say names. I don't care. But I definitely will.
I didn't, but I could.
Yeah, once we get to that topic, I think I'm gonna go a little deeper into something I said today.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's
So
do it. Let's do it.
I will,
Same.
go into it, because that's a whole conversation.
Okay.
Same.
All right. Well, it's toxic. We'll have a part 2, not scheduled, but it will be coming at some point. And before we go into our,
That's toxic. You know how they scream, that's racist.
that's right, Taz. All right, so we're gonna take a quick commercial break, and we will be back with our Q&A segment. Shauna and her foolishness this week. I said it.
Not
All right,
my
y'all.
foolishness.
We will be right back. Yeah. And we back. All right. What we
I'm
get into
gonna
this?
hack her account and block 6 brown chicks or whatever it's called. I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna offend everybody in that group so that they ban her.
So I'm gonna tell myself, and I'm gonna say I did tell Shauna last night to pick one from 6 round chicks because we
did.
haven't had one in a while.
He did.
I did.
He did. But
I said
here's
for
the kicker.
fun, 'cause it's-
I already had one queued up.
It's toxic family members, and they
Jesus,
have
take me now.
that. It's fake, but they
And
have
everything
it
on
on
here
lock.
is toxic. So
On lock.
initially, one of my questions is 2 questions, guys. Before we get into the questions, if you have any questions that you want asked or answered on this podcast, you can hit us on social media. on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. On Facebook, we are Wine and Sign Audacity, the podcast. And on IG and Twitter, we are WandaPod _
Period.
You can send us a DM or you can hit us in our email at askwandapod@gmail.com. That is ASKWANDAPOD@gmail.com. Let us know if you want to remain anonymous, if we can use your whole name, first name, last name, nickname, whatever. We may or may not. No, I'm joking, but we will, abide by that. So, initially, before Brandon told me to add this 6 brown chick question that I actually had in the repertoire anyway, I had a question from the Am I the Asshole thread that seemed pretty toxic to me. So I think I'm going to do that one first before I get to the 6 brown chick question. All right, so this one is entitled, Am I the Asshole for not wanting my boyfriend to borrow my car anymore after he left me and my roommate stranded? So this was pretty long, so I'm just going to kind of summarize it a little bit with giving as much detail as I possibly can. But she says that she had an extremely busy weekend, more work than was healthy for one person, and her boyfriend wanted to borrow her car to go to the doctors. He's not an experienced driver, and she gets worried about him borrowing her car. So she let him borrow it under one condition, that he goes to the doctors and comes straight back, because she had some errands that she needed to run when she got done with her meetings at work. More or less, he came back an hour and a half later and had a whole bunch of bags from running his own personal errands while she was sitting there waiting. She was actually supposed to run her errands on her lunch break.
Right.
But because he didn't come back in time, she wasn't able to do that. So she was forced to do it after work, which, cut into the plans that she had after work, and it just threw everything off.
Right.
So she said her night got super fucked up, and it pissed her and her roommate off because, like I said, they had the errands that they needed to run, which involves getting food for the pets and all that stuff. I know y'all had this jingling in the damn bag, girl, and I got an extra dog here. I'm dog sitting from a nephew dog. Anyway, she said she has been slightly on edge and stressed out due to having to figure out how to get her errands and stuff done while continuing to get her work done and stuff.
Right.
So she, yelled at him, told him that he was no longer able to use her vehicle because he didn't respect what she asked him to do.
Yeah.
And now he has the audacity to be walking around with an attitude like he was the one that was wrong.
Okay, and?
So she wants to know, did she overreact? Is she the asshole?
No. No.
How are you an asshole for putting a boundary on your own shit?
First of all,
shit.
why is he driving your vehicle? Why does he not have his own vehicle?
There it is.
Second of all, it's common courtesy to say, oh, well, I have to do X, Y, Z. Can I hold the car a little longer?
Yeah. Not just take it and then come back when you feel like it. Because if I had something I need to do, now you pushing me, making me see.
Yeah, that's so inconsiderate.
Girl, fuck you.
Exactly.
Taking my damn car.
I'm sorry. Maybe it's just me, but I just don't like the idea of a man with my car.
Me neither. Because why is you riding around with the seat leaned back in my car with the rhinestones on it?
I mean, and it's not just rhinestones on the steering wheel. It's rhinestones on the mirror, on the license plate. I mean,
fucking license plate say Big Booty Judy on it. Like, sir. The only person a man who's been allowed to drive my vehicle is my little brother. I allowed him to drive.
You let me drive your car?
Well, yeah, besides you.
Oh,
well, technically, you're my little brother, too.
I mean, it's different. It's different with y'all.
But that's different. But
also
in a relationship,
right.
Like, he don't have his own vehicle.
Baby, let me drive your car because it's in the parking lot.
No.
You're not about to drop me off at work and drive my car around Jody?
No.
No. Absolutely not.
No.
Nah.
Because the first time I get in here, and I smell Bath and Body Works sweet pea on my seat.
Smell,
and I don't wear that shit. It's gonna be me and or you, bitch.
I'm crashing us and the car.
Call me
the car.
Call me Angela Bassett because I'm gonna set shit on fire.
All of it.
Hot to fire.
Okay.
Okay, Keelan.
Okay. I'm gonna set it.
Because I burn hot fire.
Exactly.
More fire.
So no, sis, you're not the asshole.
Not at all.
Fuck him.
He
needs to be like Tariq St. Patrick and be a BMW. A black man walking. If he's black. I'm not going to assume he's black, but I'm just using it as an example. He might be a W.
Walking around with an attitude. You better walk your ass to a dealership and get your own goddamn car.
How you walk with an attitude? Because I put a boundary on my own shit.
In the words of Aunt Bam, you better get in the Uber. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, Uber. Thank God.
Bye.
All right, next question.
So this
nerve.
question, yo, several of these questions are the audacity.
So hold on real quick before you doing that. I saw this last night on Reddit. It kind of goes into this where a woman and her husband, I think he wanted to borrow her car to go to his brother's wedding, and she told him no.
Okay.
But she said the reason why was because of the fact that he's a horrible driver. He gets into accidents. He actually had just totaled his own car. And he wanted to take her car to his brother's wedding, like 2 towns over. It's like an hour and some change drive away. She told him no because, again, she wasn't invited to the wedding, which was a whole separate issue. And she didn't want to be stuck at home for a week with no car and no way to get around and not do anything. She told him this well in advance. She woke up the morning of, keys were gone, goes outside, the car is gone.
I had somebody take my car like that before.
She called him and he said, well, no, I mean, I'll set the car. I'll be back in 5 days. I said, you when you get home. She calls the police.
And reports our car stolen?
Reports the car
Good
stolen.
job, sis.
Report the car stolen.
Good job. Because fuck him.
And he's now, she has to go to the police station to retrieve the car. And he's like, well, why'd you call the police for me? Was it that serious? Why'd you doing all this?
Yes, it was that serious. I told you no, bitch.
Husband or not. I don't care who you are.
The fuck?
And she's literally asked the same question. Am I the asshole for inconveniencing him and almost making him miss his brother's wedding? I said, but
fuck him and his brother.
Him getting there wasn't your responsibility. If you told him no, then
you better get on the Greyhound
to find something alternative transportation.
No, somebody should have came and got him and took him.
That part.
You better get on the Greyhound. You better get on the Mugger bus. You better get on Amtrak. You better do something.
On top of you already not being invited to your brother-in-law's wedding, which
for whatever
is a
reason,
separate issue.
Fuck both y'all. No.
But yeah, I'm sorry.
No.
Next question, Shauna.
No. So
Cue the ratchet.
Right. Is this from the 6 brown heifers?
it is.
Okay.
This is low key Brandon's favorite thread. Brandon.
Fuck you. I have not responded to 6 brown chicks in almost 5 years.
I don't respond. I just read it. I don't respond.
I used to respond every Wednesday until I found a day where
Mind
they
you,
were
Brandon
fake.
is the one who introduced me to freaking 6
You
brown
have to tell
chicks.
them that. I mean, it's true, but you have to tell them that. God damn it.
All right, so this one I thought was a combination of toxic and fucking audacity. It's actually 3 of them, but I'm gonna just pick this one.
Okay.
My wife is a long distance truck driver, gone several days a week. I was tired of my side chick, so I broke up with her. She stalked my wife, followed her from Chicago to Texas, and took pictures of my wife with other men. How to confront my cheating wife? Can't stand the disrespect. He just took a deep breath. Sorry, y'all. I wish you could see their faces. Oh, God.
Okay, here's my advice. Die slowly, bitch. The end.
And on that note, thank you for listening to this episode of Wine and Audacity podcast. And
Yeah.
that's all I got.
What she said. What she said.
Am I supposed to respond to that?
Is that the most extreme one you have of the 3? Because if it is, you did a hell of a job picking that.
Wait. I got a bonus one. Y'all want to
go ahead.
Go
ahead.
Y'all want to here go. I told a friend that my husband didn't know our son wasn't his. He overheard and took a DNA test that proved he's not the father. My son ain't his, but he raised him for years. How to convince him to continue to be a father figure? He must be held accountable.
For what?
Lord, Jesus be an ass whooping. Cause
Girl, what? Huh?
Wait, y'all, I got one more.
Shit, okay.
This is the last one. We gonna end this episode.
she's taking joy in
She's cackling and we sitting here.
this is causing me mental distress. And she's laughing. She's like tickled pink for real.
She is. Shauna's turning beet red in the face. Meanwhile, me and Kia sitting here looking at each other like,
Y'all, this. All right. This is the last one.
He must be held accountable.
Must be held accountable.
Over some shit.
I said, bitch, what?
Held accountable for what?
Exactly. You need to be held accountable for the fact that you've been lying to this man all these years. That's why I agree with the debate that DNA tests should be mandatory, whether you're married or not. I'm sorry. Because there's too much of this shit going on. And in a lot of states, because you were married, that man is going to be forced to legally support that child that's not his based on a lie. That's not right. That is not right. And I think legislation needs to be changed. That's not fair.
Make sure you don't live in one of them states.
Facts. All right.
Child.
Yo, last one. Carlos has 3 kids with his short, fat wife. All she does is cook and get pregnant. She posted their couple pics and I was furious. I pulled up, told Carlos to hold my purse while I beat her ass. She stomped me out. Wait, I'm finished.
Instant karma.
Listen, I'm not finished.
His short fat wife whooped your ass, huh?
She stomped me out.
Took her to Pound Town, huh?
Wait. Her kids helped.
Not the whole crew.
Wait a minute. Carlos didn't help me.
That's the episode title. That's the episode title. Jump by the crew. No,
Carlos didn't help me.
There you go. That's it. I'm literally sitting here with tears in my eyes.
The way it's toxic. Well, but it's gonna be as toxic / Carlos didn't help me.
There you go. That's the episode title. Oh Jesus.
Please tell me it's no more.
That's it. Those 3 stuck out to me yesterday. I could not get myself together last night reading this. I said, let me find out you pulled up and fucked around and found out.
Oh my gosh.
Her fat ass beat the shit out you, did she says.
Wait a minute. Was that here? Was that on a podcast where we were reading the text messages between the guy and the guy was saying his cousin was mad at him because his cousin wanted him to come out and he didn't come out with him, and he went to a party with his girl where his girl ended up getting G'd by 2 guys in the room.
Oh yeah, he was trying to get the cousin to pick him up. Yeah,
he got beat up because he went in the room.
He went in the room and Dicks was swinging and they beat his ass, and the girlfriend was just sitting there like, y'all done yet? Cause
they was like, they didn't giving it to him. He peeked in the room and was like,
one in the front and one in the back. He was mad at shit.
He peeped around the corner like,
oh wait. She wasn't even his girlfriend, and the cousin was like,
girl he liked,
because you ain't got nothing invested in her.
And she asked him to go to the party with her, some shit like that. Yeah, I remember that.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man.
I can remember if that was with y'all or not.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that ends the story for the week.
Be wary of men named Carlos. Do not confront his wife.
Do not.
The children bite.
Mission, sis. Abort mission, because she gonna stomp you and the kids gonna jump in.
Take a turn.
And Carlos gonna stand there because he know what that be about. Because she done beat Carlos' ass too.
I cannot.
I'm done.
And on that note, oh my God.
Oh, Jesus.
They got her ass beat by the kids.
They're taking turns. It's like a merry-go-round.
Them kids was like, baby's kids, bitch. We don't die, we multiply.
And on that note, thank you for listening to this episode of Wine and Audacity, the podcast. Hold on, I gotta catch my breath. Hold on.
I wish that was a Reddit thread, because I would be in them comments, girl.
Same.
I would be in them comments.
Same.
Oh, Jesus.
Because I know them comments would have been funny.
Yes.
Oh, Lord.
All right.
Y'all. Okay, look, y'all, we got to go. Y'all, Key's gonna be out again next week. Ron will be back. And we will talk to y'all then. We love y'all for listening. Shauna, please don't pull no more of them fucking questions.
We on a record, and he said no more 6 brown chicks.
He said that last time.
I said that last time, but you see, we was all here cackling because Carlos didn't help her.
I got pee, y'all. I gotta go.
We love y'all. Thank y'all for listening, and we will see y'all next week. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.